Now, with the overnight fighting, an escalating war of words and promised U.S. military aid just touching down, developments in Lebanon seem to be moving quickly. We turn now to Anthony Mills in Beirut, who joins us live. Anthony, the Lebanese government had appealed for help. It has just arrived, and it's come from the United States.
That's correct, Adrian, and we'll recall that the United States is a firm backer of the Lebanese government, of the Lebanese Prime Minister Fouad Siniora, and indeed has voiced backing for his government in the current standoff with the Fatah-al-Islam group in the Nahr al-Bared refugee camp in the north. Now, a short while ago, that aid, that promised aid, started arriving here in Beirut at the Beirut International Airport. We understand that 2 or 3 planes have touched down, bringing that military equipment that the Lebanese government had said it was so in need of. There may be a cost, though, to this military equipment. Let's not forget that the Lebanese government, Adrian, is currently locked in a standoff with an opposition led by the militant Hezbollah group, and that opposition has accused Fouad Siniora's government of being a puppet of the West, a puppet of the United States. So it may be that as this military aid pours in, that gives fuel to the fire of the domestic political confrontation with a Hezbollah-led opposition that the Prime Minister currently finds himself in.
I wanted to ask you, Anthony, about the controversial nature of that aid that, in effect, the U.S. government is giving weapons that will be ultimately used against Muslims, albeit extremist Muslims, not even Lebanese. They're foreigners, but nonetheless Muslims. How will the Muslim population in Lebanon feel about that?
It is a delicate situation, Adrian, because although Fatah-al-Islam does not enjoy broad popular support in Lebanon among the many tens of thousands, actually 400,000 Palestinian refugees as a whole, nonetheless, the pictures that have emerged over the last 3 days of fierce fighting at that refugee camp in the north have angered many ordinary Palestinians. They've been angered by the pictures of the bombardment, the scenes of the very heavy Lebanese military bombardment of that camp, scenes of civilians suffering, civilians unable to get out, and some have managed to flee over the last day or two, but others remain trapped in the camp. And of course, as this standoff continues, if there is more fighting, and certainly the Lebanese army is reinforcing its positions up there, as this standoff continues, if there's more fighting, more scenes of suffering, and the perception is that the United States is contributing to the Lebanese government, the Lebanese army's approach to this situation, then we could find the anger spreading. We could find it spreading to other Palestinian camps. There are a dozen or so other Palestinian camps in Lebanon with thousands of other Palestinian refugees. There are also other militant groups in those camps. They're lawless camps. They are off limits to the Lebanese army under a 1969 Arab agreement, and so there is a danger of a spillover effect. Also, of course, the Fatah-al-Islam group has warned, and warned again today, we understand, to Arab media, that if this assault continues, if this standoff continues, that they will take the battle beyond that camp and across Lebanon. Adrian.
Various commentators, Anthony, have been saying over the past couple of days that although we're seeing this shaky truce around the refugee camp in the north, we're building up to some sort of final confrontation here. How long dare the Lebanese government wait before launching any sort of final assault on that camp, with tension building as it is?
Well, a very difficult question for the Lebanese government and the Lebanese army. They have a number of choices, Adrian. On the one hand, they could theoretically go into that camp to try to wipe out the militants who are inside it. But there is a 1969 Arab agreement under which the Lebanese army is not allowed to go into that camp. It would really require the go-ahead from all the other Palestinian factions in Lebanon. Even if they were given that go-ahead, though, Adrian, it's not clear whether or not that would actually solve the problem. This is a densely populated camp which had, when the fighting broke out, around 40,000 inhabitants, densely populated, narrow alleyways. It is built up, so we're not talking tents here, we are talking more building-like dwellings, and so the fighting could be intense, there could be more bloodshed, and it's not sure what the outcome would be. On the other hand, if you have a siege and this continues and there's no clear outcome, that puts the Lebanese army in another difficult position. Now, we understand, and we can't confirm this at the moment, but we understand that the Lebanese army, the Lebanese government, would actually quite like to see the Palestinian factions sort this out themselves. That's to say, other Palestinian factions in Lebanon, such as Hamas, for example, or Islamic Jihad, to name but two, that they would sort this out as an inter-Palestinian thing rather than a Lebanese army assault. Adrian.